Google Jamboard is another great tool if you want students to demonstrate their understanding and if you want them to show their work. It's going to allow them to use touchscreen devices or their mouse pads to show their writing. In order to access it, you're going to go to New, More, and Jamboard. And also, Jamboards can be shared out in Google Classroom so that way each student will get their own Jamboard. Jamboards work very similarly to a whiteboard. The only difference is obviously that it is a digital tool. Now, within Jamboard, the tools will all be located on your left-hand side. You do have a pen tool so that your students can write out their work, like I said before, either with the mouse pad or most of the devices that are given out now are touch screen. With that, they do also have the ability to change the color, and there are a couple different pen types in there as well. With that, they can erase. And also with that, they do have the ability to have a select tool. Now, the select tool is not going to work for the pen. It'll only work on drawings. So, for instance, it's only going to work on photos. So, for example, this photo right here that I got from Equatio, this I can move around with that select tool. But in order to move around any writing or to get rid of it, I'm going to have to go ahead and erase it. Now, one big tip here, the sticky notes. This is good for different activities that you might want your students to do, but it's outstanding if I want to provide feedback. So I can, as the teacher, go in and I can provide feedback to my students so that as they're working, they'll be able to see my comments and I can move them around on my Jamboard. There are images in here. It'll do a Google search or allow me to upload. So if I want to create virtual manipulatives, here's a good place for that. There's a circle tool and a text box. Now, as I was saying before, unfortunately, Equatio does not yet work in Jamboard, but one way to work around that is to have the problems on a Google Doc and then just copy and paste over the pictures. Finally, the one big plus of Jamboard is you can have multiple boards. So you can have one problem per board, or you can just have multiple problems that they're working on in class. This is great both for synchronous instruction, so that you'll be able to see what all of your students are doing, as well as asynchronous instruction so that you can go back and check on your students.